So what I thought I'd do is explain how I make my beehive lids. Now I've got National hives, and to buy a National lid for the hive, for the roof, it sets you back circa, well, 45-50 quid depending on what time you buy it. I'm going to make 10 off this year. For the cost of these tin roofs, this is galvanised steel, the 16 quid a lid. And then what I tend to do is buy a length of decking board, which at the volume I buy at is usually about £6 a length and they're 2.4 metres long. And I cut those into 460 square, so they sit on top of, they don't overlap the super, if you like a normal lid would. They sit directly on top of it, but I don't see that as being a problem if you're strapping them down. And then I sit inside here. So the first thing you got to do is recognise you want a outside square of 460 mil. And before you start, you need to do just a dead simple maths. Something like this is quite cool, but you can do it using a ruler. You want to measure how thick your wood is. So this is 21 mil. My design, which is going to be one long at 460, and then I'm going to have two going at the same length, and then one between them. So I'll show you what I mean by that. True Blue Peter style, which is the one I've done earlier. I want to have one at 460. I want to have two that are going flush to the ends, and the one that sits in the middle like that. Because I find that's the best way to be able to square them up afterwards. So to enable that, you've got to do your 460. This one is going to be 460 minus a thickness. So in this instance, this is 21 mil. So you're going to have 460 long, two at 439. So that's 460 minus 21 mil. And then because the other one sits in the middle between the two, that's going to be 460 minus 2 times the length. So that's 460 minus 21 minus 21 is 418. So you have to cut all those lengths off, and you'll wind up with one 460, two at 439, and one at 418 if your thickness is 21. So you have to do that small amount of maths to work out what lengths you need. So that's it. I've done about 11 roofs worth of timber cutting. Next job will be to screw them together and glue them together. You can just screw them, but I like to screw and glue, just extra strength I guess if the screws start to go of age. I use outdoor waterproof wood glue. I use dead long screw, 4.5mm in diameter by 65mm long. Pilot hole them. You don't have to, but I do pilot hole them. So I tend to have two handhelds, one with the drill bit and one with the screwdriver, and it makes it so much quicker. Incidentally, I do the same when I make my eeks. So if I'm going to make an eek, do exactly the same as what I'm doing now with this timber, only I don't put a roof on top of it. Simple as. The long one, the 460 at the back, and then I get the two sides, push that to the back there, and I'm just checking, make sure it's all square and there's no major issues. Looks all right. One thing you can do, can you see, I don't know if you can see that, how this is sort of patterned on this side. Sometimes the patterns on this timber is much deeper grooved, and that's quite good to allow airflow into your lid without there being so much of a gap that insects can get in, so you know, robbing insects. I always tend to put that patterning facing in, but go on, each their own. So that looks all right. So put your little one to the back, your two next longer ones, put them on the back either side of your little one, and then that'll go on the outside just there. Now see this gap here, that's because these aren't brilliant pieces of wood, and it's not a problem because my lid's going to go on top, and my lid will just sit on that surface and the back surface, leaving a gap along this surface. But if you look at that, that's probably about 3mm, which is not bad. It'll give airflow, so I'll allow that. So I'm going to drill my holes now. With these two, remember, these two are the same length. I only need one side doing. That's it. Done. Since then I've put 2 coats of Unseal Fence Plus, or whatever it is, Fence Life Plus. That's 16 quid, and I use about 1/3 of it on 2 coats of 10 of these boxes, and these boxes are going to make the roofs. So I found the flattest sides, and those flat sides, as in completely flat, I painted up. I painted the edges. I didn't paint the tops because there's no point. The lid's going to go over those. Usually I use silicone, but I found these is £1.75 from Home Bargain, and one of these does about 2.5 roofs. instant nails. I'll give it a go, see if it works. I think it'll work okay. If not, then back to the silicone next time. And then the side I didn't paint goes in, but first put big glue on it. Don't be shy with it. And you want to put it about in the middle of the roof. About in the middle. You're not going to get it bang on, doesn't really matter. I just like to dollop in the corners just to pack it in. And then just a bit down the side as well. Simple as that. If you want them to be pretty, you can paint over this stuff. Equally, you can be a bit more careful than I was. Do it right first time. I've got loads of these out in the field, so it doesn't bother me what they look like, as long as they work and they're functional.